What does one have to do to be a part of the Lady Gang?
It's really easy. It's very, very
Literally
limited.
just say you're a part of the Lady
yeah,
Gang.
no.
Hey friends, it's your girl Emily Curl, and we have something special for you today. We're at the Empire State Building hanging out with the Lady Gang. Can we give a round of applause? Let's give it up.
Oh my goodness.
Thanks for having us.
It's too loud.
You're celebrating the release of your new book, Lady Secrets, which congratulations.
Thank you so
First
much.
off, what a beautiful place to celebrate.
I mean, this is unreal.
This is iconic New York. This is what we dreamed of, and usually we get some gross, crusty studio that we're in.
Yeah.
So this is really beautiful.
Yeah.
And this is a really full circle moment for us today because this is where Becca and I met over 20 years ago.
Stop
She
it.
was on Broadway. I was trying to be unsuccessfully on Broadway, but was a rockette. And she would audition, and she can sing, as you know from Glee, obviously you've heard her, but she can wail, and she'd get all the jobs. But we met and became in the same friend circle, and then we both moved out to LA. And then I saw her in red carpets when Glee was on, and we were
Yeah.
like, what are we doing? We need to have something of our own. And that's how the podcast started. So it all started here in New York City, which is great.
Wow. And this is your second book.
Yep.
How does this release compare to the first time you released your first book?
Well, we did release our first book during the pandemic, like right smack dab in the middle of it. So we didn't have a party. We didn't have anything at all. We sat in
didn't
our
even see
rooms
each
and
other.
cried.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the culmination of both of our books. We get to be out there in the world with all of our Lady Gang. We get to celebrate. We get to drink champagne and just have a good time.
Yeah.
We love that. Lady Secrets. What other secrets are we exploring in this book for the Lady Gang?
Wowie, wowie. Well, our own. So we wrote about 30 personal essays of our deepest, darkest secrets, from serious ones about my first couple weeks of new motherhood to
My time on The Bachelor.
To body mishaps and things going on.
Yeah.
yes, and then the community of Lady Gang, there's, thousands of them around the world, and they set up this incredible hotline that you could call in and anonymously leave a message and what your deepest, darkest secret was. They had 10,000 submissions.
Oh my God,
Over
10,000.
So we sorted through them, and they range from really cringeworthy, mortifying things, kind of things that you it's a secret but it kind of deserves a gold medal,
Yeah,
revenge kind of things that
yeah.
are you're go girl, and to really, really heartbreaking, hard stuff to share. And so we really believe that sort of the shame of keeping your secrets in is so bad for you, and we want everyone to feel free, and maybe by reading this book you'll feel a little less alone about your own secrets. You want to share a secret?
Oh my
I'll let
God.
you know. I'll let you know.
Oh my God.
I'll let you know if it's in here.
Oh, now I got to think about that. I'm nervous. You all have been so open with your audience, with your fans, as sharing on your podcast. I want to dive a little deeper. Becca, let's start with you, because one thing I really related to you about is I'm also a Georgia girl, and you grow up in a certain way coming from
yeah.
Georgia, but you've sort of said, to hell with that, I'm making my own path. What is your hope for readers who maybe grew up in a similar way when they read this book and when they see you all on tour?
So I think it's really scary as a woman, especially in the South, because you're put in this box, and if you come out of it a little bit, then shame on you. We're just so trained to fall in line. And once you take the step out of the box, once you free yourself a little bit of that judgment and you start to just fully accept yourself and realize that not that many people are actually thinking that much about you,
Yeah.
it's really liberating. I mean, I've spent so many years of my life trying to be perfect when there's no such thing as perfection. And when you just admit that you're so flawed and messed up, there's no expectation. Hello, this is me. I bring
Right.
nothing to the table.
And you all have been open about your successes, but also your setbacks. Kelty, let's go to you for a second. Being in the entertainment industry for so long, having such a public, successful career, what is maybe one setback or one challenge that now looking back, you're glad it happened because it brought you to this moment here today?
I just couldn't imagine, 15 years ago, 10 years ago, ever being on this side of the interview, because I have just been doing what
I
you
know,
do,
and
and you do
watch-
it so well.
Oh, but thank you.
I just couldn't have imagined that this Lady Gang would take over my life and be so fulfilling. I really had it in my mind that being on the red carpet and getting those Emmys was all that mattered to me, and really the connection we have with our fans is the most satisfying thing. So, leaving my big TV job didn't feel as scary because I really feel more satisfied in my career and my life more now than I ever did when I was standing, at the Met Gala or something here in New York. Yeah.
Wow. I mean, and one thing about the Lady Gang too is the branding of it all. I mean, you guys have built this huge community. You've done it for so long. Jack, let's toss you for this last one. As a CEO and entrepreneur, what do you think is the key to not only creating a brand that people like and gravitate towards, but one that's going to last a really long time? You're going to build a community that's going to be with you for a long time.
I mean, the answer really is community. The Lady Gang is so much bigger than the three of us, and we can only go so far having a really pretty book. If we didn't have the community behind us and all these women supporting each other, then we would kind of have nothing. So we made this community not really knowing what we were doing. We made a Facebook group just for the podcast, and it ended up turning into something bigger than itself. So we're really, really lucky that we have all the women around the world meeting each other for the first time at so many of these shows, and it's just so fun.
Yeah.
The book is so beautiful, and Jack is very humble, but she went to school for graphic design, and so we're probably the only authors. She designed the whole book
Did
and
you?
the entire inside. The
You're
font,
kidding.
everything that's in here is Jack, and our first book too. So
Oh my God, so this really is, wow, such a
real
group
labor
effort.
of love.
Yeah, I love it. I just turned 30 this year, and I think there's sometimes this stigma with women and getting a little bit older, but I've come to find out that I feel just even more like myself the older I get. What is something that each of you would say is something you used to worry about when you were younger that you no longer worry about anymore?
I think the biggest thing, once you turn 30, 30s so far have been the best years of my life. In your 20s, you're so worried about what other people are thinking of you. You're trying to find what your identity is and latching on to a lot of outward things. But once you turn 30, I feel like you don't give a shit anymore.
Amen to that. Love it.
And you can kind of just do whatever the hell you want and live more authentically and find your people that you truly care about and stop wasting time on things that don't matter.
Love that.
For me, I think it's knowing your worth and knowing the power of a no. In my 20s and 30s, I was so desperate for people to pick me that I would get picked for anything. It didn't matter what it was. I'll pay you $10 and you can, be up all night and it wouldn't matter. And I think as I've gotten older, I've realized well, actually, that's not good for me. That's not the right choice for me. That doesn't fulfill me. And the power of no is so powerful. And also, when you start saying no, the things that you really want start coming into your life, like this Marilyn Monroe moment.
Well, it's like leaving room for leaving
Yeah.
space. It's
Yeah.
you gotta allow that space.
Yeah.
What would you say, Becca?
I would say stop dating losers.
I did that so much in my 20s.
Yeah.
Sunscreen.
Sunscreen's really important. Nothing wrong with a little Botox. I just think life is short, and I think that obviously we're now in our 30s, and I just wish that I didn't take it so seriously in my 20s. There's so much time to do it all. There's so much time to be so serious about your career and and making babies and all these things, but your 20s should be fun.
Yeah.
You should be
Relax
messing up
into
a
it.
lot in your 20s.
Yeah.
That's what it's for.
And it's okay to mess up. You're supposed to mess up. It's boring if you're not messing up.
Oh my God, beautiful advice, ladies. We're so excited. You're also playing a show tonight. You're on tour. We've
Yes.
seen the tour bus footage. How's it been being on the bus? Are you guys liking it so far?
We are still in a podcast together, barely. We're doing our best to keep this Spice Girls as a threesome.
Yes.
No. It's been really fun. It's exhausting.
It's
Yeah.
chaotic.
So much work. I don't have any idea where my shoes are,
And those bunks are small. You gotta really squeeze in there.
and it's bouncing all night. And oh my God.
Yeah, it's not glamorous.
No.
No, but we're also not, Katy Perry. So we're doing this on the Lady Gang budget. So we are, washing our own underwear in the sink and
Oh,
things
yeah.
like that.
It's fun though. Anytime that we complain about it, we're like, this is a core memory. We're gonna look back on this and laugh, and it's me.
And Jack is known. This is the ultimate scene queen. Emo's back, as you know,
of course.
iHeartRadio. But she started it all, MySpace queen right here. And so we always said we were gonna get when we have our own tour bus. She doesn't need to be dating a musician, even though she's engaged to one. We can have our own tour bus, and we have our own tour bus.
And now my fiance is out visiting us on tour for the
Oh,
first time.
and that's a
So,
good feeling.
Yeah, it's a really good feeling. Full circle.
Okay, last question for y'all is what does one have to do to be a part of the Lady Gang?
It's really easy. It's very, very
Literally just
limited.
say you're a part of
yeah,
the
yeah,
Lady
yeah, no. Listen to one podcast. No, there's a community on Facebook that's 32,000 women. It's private, so you do have to go on and you do have to answer questions to prove.
Who's your favorite member? Kelty.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
It's usually Becca, so give her a little love. But I don't know. I think part of Lady Gang, what we're finding at all these live shows is that all of these women have something in common, and that is they're sick and tired of pretending to be perfect. They're sick of doing things quietly and being embarrassed and feeling the shame. They just want to, be in a community of women that's not going to judge them and that's going to be there for them, good, bad, ugly, smelly.
Yeah. We have a really cool thing at our shows on tour called Solo YOLO, which I don't know how that came to be, but a lot of women, like, you move to a new town after college for a job or whatever. Take it away, Jack, I'm choking.
Well, there are so many women that come to our shows alone, and it's a super brave thing to do. I've never been to a show alone, so these women are putting themselves out there, coming to a show alone, and it's happened so much in the past that we made these little pins called Solo YOLO that you get for free at the merch booth,
so cute.
and then all of the other Lady Gang can find them and embrace them and bring them into their friend group.
So no one has to be alone.
I love that. Beautiful. On a sentiment to the whole community. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. Congratulations again. Lady Secrets is out now. Go get the book. Go see them on tour. One more time. I love the round of applause.
Thank you.
Thank you so much again.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching. Did you like that video? You can check out more over here. And don't forget to subscribe to iHeart right here. And if you're already a longtime fan, make sure you ring the bell down below so you don't miss a single video. Bye guys.